sit there and they think that these folks in the streets, just because they got weapons, that they really got power. You know, I ain't never understood the thought process of the crime, the way the crime has been rising. It surprised me that it took this long for the federal government to step in and start actually going into cities and states and taking control. Only a fool or a criminal or a psychopath is rooting on the criminals in the streets. And it surprises me sometimes when you see so many people in the world that's lost. People in the world call them liberals. Them people that can't wait to march for any and everything in the streets, even though some things ain't meant to be marched. These folks really ready to go out there and march in the streets of Memphis and go against army tanks and soldiers and federal agents that's trying to clean the streets up to save people from going through, tragedy and pain just because somebody want to carjack them or break in their house. I said a long time ago that if you want to get control of crime, you got to treat this motherfucker like a pandemic, just like they did COVID. You got to shut this world down, all the way down, call it shelter in place, and pop out with that list and go door to door and go get them folks, man. You got to shut this world down, and everybody that's moving that shouldn't be moving, essential workers only, put them folks in the hucklebuck and catch them motherfuckers doing what they shouldn't be doing. People thought that the federal government was sitting back and they were just sitting on their hands like most of the time they've been doing for the last decade or two. But these folks actually said, nah, we're not going to let you young motherfuckers and you criminals, you people that want to go up in churches and shoot folks up, and you folks that want to go out here and carjack individuals and take people's lives, we're not going to go for that anymore. We're not going to try to fight you through the court system. We're going to fight you in them streets because that's what y'all understand is violence against violence. And a lot of people sit there thinking that, that these young motherfuckers finna do like they've been doing the police department, shooting at them and, get out of control. If you shoot at the FBI or the U.S. Marshals, man, God have mercy on y'all soul. Them folks already gonna be looking for any reason to box you dumb motherfuckers in certain situations and take over blocks and situations to make them get in control, man. Motherfuckers don't understand that in life, the best strategy always wins the war. And these folks sit down in the DOJ and Department of Justice in what they call in the Pentagon and sit in the war room and came up with a plan with generals and colonels of how they were going to invade these neighborhoods and cities and states in America and take control back over from the criminals. These folks sit down for months and days and years and took time out and put up surveillance and actually got on the internet and told a lot of people things that they should have already knew. Them folks said that how they got most of their individuals that they're going to go out into the world and pick up off the streets and known gang members, they're going to use social media. Social media posts where an individual was out there online hollering out gang, trade dudes, sevenfold gangster, Crips and this and Bloods and that. Them folks going to go out there and round them folks up by name. By name. Because a lot of people forgot that a long time ago, them folks came up with laws that said you cannot be a part of a gang, an organized crime unit that is creating chaos or taking lives or preying on the American citizens. It is a federal offense up to life in prison. A lot of you motherfuckers online that think you got famous by hollering out Crip Mac this and I'm a gang member and I'm shaking this and I'm doing this. Them folk wasn't doing nothing but putting you on a motherfucking list every time that you went live and threw up them gang signs, man. And all you motherfuckers in the world that been online throwing up them gang signs and holding up weapons, knowing that you convicted felons, them folk coming to get you folks, man. Them folks said that they ain't gonna race and they ain't gonna chase you motherfuckers. They gonna terrorize your families and friends and interrupt their lives until them folks tell them where you laying your head at, man. Y'all folks don't understand that technology on took over and ain't no way you can outrun technology, man. You can't hide in no barn or you can't hide in outer space where them folks ain't gonna be able to find your ass, man. You know, people don't understand that. You know, you gotta focus on the things that's going on in the world and realize that guess what? Anytime that a lot of people end up with a lot of weapons in their hand that shouldn't happen, the government got to step in because if them folks don't, somebody might militarize them folks and them folks come up with an uprising or a revolt against the United States and them folks ain't having that shit, man. Them folks ain't for to let them folks get no farther out of control and they gonna use Memphis. They gonna use Memphis as a poster child to show that sometimes you gotta use violence against violence to make people in the streets safe again, man. Sometimes you got to go out there with a supply of body bags and fill them motherfuckers up with nothing ass individuals to make a lot of people be able to sleep a lot better in their neighborhoods that they worked hard for, man. A lot of people in this world are misled and misguided to the point where these folks lay up and have multiple children and their children go out in the community and create chaos on the people of their own culture, man. You have seen a lot of things go on in the news, and a lot that I've been seeing is they starting to charge these parents with the same crimes that their children are committing, and they charge them with the child neglect. Neglect to control your child and letting your child go out here at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and commit crimes while you laying up in the house smoking a 3.5 sucking on a motherfucking nigga dick, man. Y'all motherfuckers in the world better wake up and realize that people are tired of cleaning up other people's problems and other people's creations in this world, man. A lot of people are out here making babies as we speak and they can't control the ones that they got sleeping in their house right now, man. I think that we need to be like China. In China, them folks say you can only have one child, and if you become pregnant again, they make you have a state mandatory either vasectomy or you get your tubes tied. Because you don't realize when people are bringing so many individuals in this world into what we call poverty. If you are already living in the projects or living on Section 8 and barely making meals for the 1 or 2 children you got, what gives you the right or the audacity to cock your motherfucking legs open and let another motherfucker plant another baby in between you and expect the government to take care of that, man? Expect the people that go to work every day to pay their taxes to take on the responsibilities of another individual that could have kept their legs closed long enough to get their life together, man. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth when it comes to pointing out the fact that they are the reason why that they losing in life. They are the reason why that their children is not getting the best education because they're not getting the best environments is because their parents gave up, man. Gave up. You know, the thing about it is, if you sitting back in life and you waiting on child support or you waiting on some, that's why I say sometimes you might need to get to know individuals before you take that step of having sexual intercourse with an individual. Do a background check on a motherfucker. See how many kids an individual got and see if they able and capable of taking care of your children even if they leave this earth because they either got a job or pension or a 401k or at least a motherfucking insurance policy. You know, because people put themselves in situations because if you know that the dude that you fucking with ain't nothing but a robber, a nut-ass motherfucker 9 times out of 10, he gonna spend the rest of his life in the penitentiary and go get put in the ground, man. So what are you gonna do when the person you say you fell in love with that you knew was gonna leave this earth one way or another You lay up and make many babies as you can with this motherfucker. And then you scream, I'm a single parent. You're a single parent by choice, man. By choice. You know, because everybody